Hi, video number 3. So we're looking for the surface area and the volume of this prism. I know that the top says find the surface area. I just grabbed this as an example for you. So I am going to show you how we find the surface area and the volume. When we learned surface area in class, we talked about finding the area of each face and adding them together. So that is the way I'm going to do it. And then the volume, of course. So starting with surface area. This is a rectangular prism. It has 2 bases, and it has 6 faces total. It has 6 faces. My faces are all rectangles. So, if you recall correctly, we draw out the shapes of our faces, and we find the dimensions, and then eventually find the area of each of our rectangular faces. So, I'm going to do that right now. If I'm looking at my face, the small face facing me, I know the edges that are going right to left, all 4 of those are going to be 24 centimeters. And the edges going top to bottom, the short ones, are all going to be 10 centimeters. So 24 by 10. Also, rectangular prism, we know that opposite faces measure exactly the same. So this face here will measure exactly the same as that face on that end. So I'm going to have 2 that are 24 by 10. Now I'm going to look at this face here on the side. I've got this long diagonal piece and then my short side again. So the 4 edges that are going diagonal up, those are all going to be 30 centimeters. So it's 30. And then again, my short edges going up and down are 10. So it's 30 by 10. And it's a rectangular prism, so we know opposite sides measure exactly the same. So this face and this face over here that we essentially can't see will measure exactly the same. And then when I'm looking at my top and my bottom faces, I have my big rectangle here on the top and then my rectangle on the bottom. So again, right to left, my edges going right to left are 24. And my edge going at a diagonal, they are all measuring 30. And it's a rectangular prism, so I know the opposite faces will measure exactly the same. So now I'm going to multiply my dimensions and find the area of each of my faces. Now I know the area of each face. I'm going to add up all 6 of my faces to get the total surface area. How much paint would I need to cover this entire rectangular prism? I would need 2,520 centimeters squared of paint to paint this entire rectangular prism. So like this prism here, if I'm painting, if I say repaint this blue, you would paint all 6 of these faces and the entire thing would look blue. So you would have 6 faces covered in a different color paint. Finally, volume of a rectangular prism. The formula for volume of a prism is area of the base. Big B is area of base times the height. So any side or any face can be considered my base. You may also have seen volume equals length times width times height for a rectangular prism. These 2 are going to yield the same exact answer. So if I multiply my dimensions 24, 30, and 10, that is going to give me my volume. If my base are these big ones, the top and the bottom, it would be 24 times 30 times my height of 10. The commutative property of multiplication says we can multiply those in any order, so it really doesn't matter what order you multiply them in. So my volume will be 7,200 centimeters cubed. Cubed because volume is always in cubic units. So again, this is a rectangular prism, 6 faces. It's a prism because it has 2 bases. A pyramid, which will come next, only has one base. You cannot confuse the two because they are different formulas, different ways of finding the volume for them. So hopefully we're doing well. I'm glad that you're watching these and reviewing, and have a good night.